cheering, singing, flag-waving crowd of thousands greets the Cuban revolutionary leader.
Fidel Castro mobbed on a visit to New York in 1959, just months after seizing power. Less than a year later, exchanges like this would dry up when Washington broke off diplomatic relations and then imposed a trade embargo in retaliation for taking control of US investments. Presidents Barack Obama and Raul Castro restored the former, but the latter endures.
The embargo is going to end. When? I can't be entirely sure.
The embargo is the most important obstacle to our economic development and the well-being of the Cuban population. That's why its elimination will be essential to normalize bilateral relations.
The embargo has been partially eased. Commercial flights to Havana have followed investments in banking and telecoms. But the international chorus to end it completely is getting louder. The US and Israel, the only two UN holdouts on an annual vote condemning the embargo. France wants it scrapped.
On the occasion of Fidel Castro's death, once again I call for the embargo, which punishes Cuba, to be ended definitively.
The problem for Cuba is incoming US President Donald Trump.
All of the concessions that Barack Obama has granted the Castro regime were done through executive order, which means the next president can reverse them. And that I will do unless the Castro regime meets our demands. Those demands will include religious and political freedom for the Cuban people and the freeing of political prisoners.
And Trump has the strongest hand of any US leader in years. Donald Trump will inherit a US Congress totally dominated by Republicans, and only Congress can lift the embargo. And while there are plenty of proposals over the next 2 years aimed at further relaxing restrictions on Cuba, there are plenty aimed at increasing them. Fidel Castro proved it was possible to survive without trading with the world's biggest economy. But with support from some of its biggest benefactors dwindling, Cuba needs help. Growth this year is forecast to be just 0.5%. Owen, Fairclough, CCTV, Washington.